Hi guys, it's Shishkabarber1 coming right back at you with another Boom Beach video. Today's video, guys, you know where we are. We're back on the SS Mini Pound Town. Quick recap. Well, first of all, this video is going to have two main parts. First part's going to talk about a whole bunch of new charts that we've got cooked up. Second part will be gameplay. We did get new rockets unlocked, like all the way maxed out. Not worth the tokens, but we didn't have much to spend it on anyway. But we'll get into all that at the second part of the video. Let's jump into the data portion now. Here we go. Whoops, that's not where we want to be. Here we go. This is our first chart. Let's let it load up. I don't think we're missing anything good over here. Okay, so here we go, guys. We see stars versus rank. You can see we have a lot of data points on here now. I need to tell you, the data that I've been using now for this last sampling for the June 20th, I'm using more data points. I had to start using more data points simply because we've got all these people parking up here, and I was losing some of the fidelity with the way I was spacing the points up before. So now we got a lot more points, which also means it takes a lot more time to get it all done. But what do we see here? I think the last time I showed you guys these charts, we were looking at it on June 14th, which were the pink lines, or the pink dots right here. It was like this. Well, now, guys, now we're all the way out here at the June 20th line, and we look something like this. So basically the point here is that we see star inflation still occurring. We had a pretty good amount between over the weekend, basically between June 14th and June 16th. We had an average star growth rate of almost 6 stars. I think it was like 5.9. Now looking at it over the 4 days between June 20th and June 16th, somewhere between like here and here, we've got an average star growth rate per day of 2.63, just like it's listed here on the chart. I guess that makes sense. I mean, you know, during the week, people don't have as much time to play. So, let's take these couple bits of information. Let's do another projection right now, all right? Basically, we got 4 days left, okay? I'm going to call it 2 weekdays and 2 weekends. Let's say our weekdays are 2.5 each, 2.5 stars times 2. And we're going to add that to, let's just call it 6 stars times 2. Because I expect a lot of grinding at the end of the season. There might even be more. So we're going to try to count all the total stars, right? So that's going to be 5 plus 12. That's 17 more stars, okay? So guys, 17 stars off of 268. You know the math, right? It's 251. Okay, that puts it right about here. Which means, yeah, we're coming out kind of right between the two numbers I was telling you before. It looks like we'll have about maybe 175 people make it into the Legendary X when it's all said and done. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. If anything, it'll be a little bit more. I expect this number here to get really high over the weekend as people grind. Well, hopefully it does. If that number doesn't get high over the weekend, it means people aren't playing. They've already quit. So we'll see. But what else can we talk about on this chart? Well, what we see is that over time, the slope of these curves is getting more and more flat. You see, if you look at the June 20th line versus, I don't know, let's say the June 3rd line. Well, there's an inflection point. Obviously, when you have the inflection point, it kind of gets flat again. But what I'm really looking at is this region here. The slope here compared to the slope here. Obviously, it's flattening out, guys. And what that means is it's a big implication for matchmaking. What it means is that now people at the top are going to be able to match with more people. Because again, if let's just use the June 3rd as the example. And let's say you were a Legendary X player and you were trying to queue up with people. Basically what that means is, let's just say roughly you would drop 40 stars total. That would put you somewhere about here for the range of your queue. That means that, where is that? Sorry, for June 3rd, you would have had roughly, what is that, 75 eligible people in your pool. But now, take this line and extend it all the way out to here, more or less. Now you have 350 people in your eligible pool because of this flattening out, like we were talking about, because of that slope. So this is good. What this means that you're going to have more people. In theory, more people should be in the queue, which means your average queue time should be shorter, which means you guys can really crank out those stars over the weekend. So get ready for that. And also be warned, for those of you guys competing for percentage, you've got a larger playing field coming up behind you, as expected. There's probably more stuff to say about the chart, but I got to get moving. Okay, here's our next one. Tech versus stars, guys. We see all the same trends before. We see all the data compressing to the right as stars inflate. We also see tech kind of normalizing. I mean, all tech. Whoops, put my tool back on. All tech is basically bounded between these lines right here. And I mean, there's a pretty decent variation in between that. That variation can be attributed to a couple of different factors. One being anytime you switch multi-nodes, the tech goes up. That's definitely a factor. People have been switching multi-nodes a lot for different reasons. And the other is just how you go through your tech tree. I mean, if you're only focusing on effective tech, tech that matters, and you're not unlocking and upgrading other stuff, your total tech level is low, but you've got all the effective tech you need. So sometimes you see some not so effective tech reflected in this tech data. So keep that in mind. I mean, that's why you see guys like this dude down here, even this dude right here. These little guys, they're competing, and their tech levels are lower. So obviously they're good players, and they just have a lot of good effective tech. But other than that, guys, what do we see? Well, I mean, we see the same trend as a flattening of this tech line. Basically, the slope of this thing is flattening out compared to what it used to be in the past. And that means the competition is kind of all on equal footing, or they're becoming more equally teched, at least for effective tech. So it just means it's a big grind fest coming up, guys. Big grind fest for those of you guys still trying to make it. And I hope you do. I hope all of you do that are at least within that actually have a shot at it. And I hope you reach all your goals, no matter what they are. Maybe it's just Legendary 1. That's great too. Now's the time, and it's good practice, and you want to go as far as you can so that you can start off well in Season 3. As we know, Warships, the start of the season can really impact your progression throughout the rest of the season. So having a good start is very important, guys. I highly encourage you to keep pushing to get every last star you can. Okay, moving right along, guys, we got ourselves the Battles versus Rank chart. This one is always just looks like a mess. I'm not even sure why I show it. I just show it because it's been in here before. What's there to say? Basically, the overall trend is, obviously as time progresses, you'll see more battles being fought. But again, it really depends on the player. I mean, some guys don't fight many battles. Some guys don't fight many battles, like this little dude down here, but they do just fine. And then some of these guys fight tons of battles, like this guy up here. Or even the variability can be closer in rank. I mean, that's a huge variability. You've got one guy with about 600 matches and another guy with over 1,700, and they're all just within about 25 ranks of each other. So what this really means is you've got a lot of different approaches to this. Some people like to grind it out, and they just like to go through a lot of matches. They don't care about their win rate. And others are maybe just taking their time, being more selective in how they spend their attacks and that sort of thing. But there it is, guys. And of course, you've got this huge cluster of junk down here, where you've just got battles all over the place. And of course, that's a phenomenon that we'll attribute to parking, when people like to just park once they reach Legendary X. And we've got some more charts that look into this in a bit more detail. So let's get into that. Whoops, I always do that, don't I? Here we go. Turn the stupid thing off. Now we can change screens. So here's a new chart, guys. New stuff. Here we have tech versus rank. Now, obviously, since it's a new chart, I've only got data for June the 20th, for today. This starts to show us the picture of what the heck's going on up top. Now, we know people park, but this really shows it to us. Okay, right now, When I took this data, Legendary X went all the way up to rank 113, which is somewhere, whoops, helps if I have my pencil on, which is somewhere right about here. Okay. So that means all this junk over here is Legendary X players. And you can see the huge range of tech, guys. We've got tech that's as low as 1,400 and as high as, I don't know, 3,900, just about. All inside of Legendary X. And you got everything else in between. You got all these lovely guys right in here. You can almost build a, what is that? It's a quadrilateral. Doesn't matter what it is. It's messed up. That's what it is, guys. But so there you go. Now that starts to tell us that, you know, there's got to be some indication of who's playing and who's not. And I think tech is a good indicator, but it's rough for the reasons we talked about. Tech's not the perfect indicator. But let's go back. Let's look at this chart. What we see, guys, is that if we draw a tech line on, let's say, 3250, something through here, and especially if we're just considering, shoot, I shouldn't have got rid of that last one. Especially if we're just considering everybody that's inside of Legendary X, which is rank 113 and above. And then if you look at the range just nearby, let's just say from here to here, all of your dots basically are above this line that I drew. Okay, this line that I drew is tech 3250, 3,250 tech. So guys, what I'm proposing is that anybody that has less than 3250 tech is not playing. And there we go again, always doing that. So let's take a look at the next chart. Here we go. We've got, let's get my face out of the way. This is potentially active players versus rank. And that's exactly what I did. I figured out who had tech above 3250. If they have tech above 3250, then they're on this chart. They'll be represented by a blue bar. If they don't, there's no bar. So it looks like a freaking barcode, doesn't it? But here you can really start to see all the parking spots, I guess, and those that have decided to leave their ship there. And then honestly, a lot of these that are still popping up, they could have parked. They might have just reached legendary rank recently, so their tech levels, you know, we can't really weed it out yet. Now what we see here is that we've got, oh man, I should have known this number. I want to say there's well over 50 players. No, I'm sorry. About 80 players. About 80 players that have, no, 50 players. Darn it, I forgot the number. I'll put it in the comments. But I believe it's over 50 players that have already parked according to this chart right here. Heck, we could even extract the numbers if we counted all the spaces right now. But it was somewhere in the 50s, guys. And that's quite a few. And I tend to think there's quite a few more that have already parked that we're not seeing here. But this is just a new chart for you. I wanted you guys to see it. Now here we go. Let's talk about another thing that actually matters a lot in this game, and now we need to start paying attention to it. Although we should have been thinking about it all season, really, if we wanted to compete. And that's win percentage versus rank. Okay. Now up top, you guys can see. Helps if I keep the chart on. Up top, you guys can see this is Whoopsie's dot right here. This is Jamar's dot right here. This is our global number 1 and 2. Whoopsie is well above the pack, and I think, guys, he might be running away with it for this season, but we'll keep a close eye on it. And good luck, because I know he's still playing. We'll see that in another chart, too. But basically, you can see there's a pretty steep curve that runs right like this. This line is the extent of Legendary X players, and it just goes up from there. And then the whole field behind us more or less falls between 55% and 50%, with a few exceptions. So pretty much what this means is if you're already Legendary X and if you're already above 55%, you're probably not going to be losing any more rank on the global leaderboard. And because there's very few players that have a shot at it to go above you. I think I'm at 54.2, so I still might slip a few more ranks, but I think we're pretty much locked in. I think all the win percentages coming in now, for the most part, are going to be lower. You still have a few outliers. Actually, this guy, this is sad. This dude, I believe, came out. He unparked his ship for some reason, and he's another one of these stranded dots. He was way up there. I think you can find him now in Legendary. He's just a couple stars away from 10, but he'll never make it back. That really sucks. It might have just been an honest mistake too. He might not even have meant to attack, and he attacked, and because he thought he was on a different account or something. And it's a horrible feeling because he had a great win percentage. But hey, mistakes happen. We're all human. Yeah, but basically, this kind of gives you an idea of what to see coming in for the future. I mean, these guys, they can't really change their win percentages that much over such a short amount of time. And even more importantly, guys, is it really depends how many matches they've played, right? Because if you haven't played a lot of matches, then each match has a decent amount of variability in terms of your win percentage and how it will affect it. If you've played a lot of matches, your next match hardly makes a difference for your win percent. So that leads into one more chart. This one's really cool. I like it a lot. This is win percent versus battles, and we definitely see some clear trends going on here. Let me trash all this junk. Basically, if I can draw it properly, we've got a line that runs something like this. Now, this is kind of like your normal line, and I'm not too far off of that. In fact, I'm probably right on it. I think I was exactly 800 battles, and I'm at 54.2%, so I'm somewhere like right here. Probably didn't even draw the line properly. I'm basically right on that stupid line, which is fine. I mean, I guess that means I'm average for the group of players that I'm comparing myself with, which is good. But next season, guys, we want to be out here. We want to be somewhere way out here on the top side of the line. I feel like that's going to take forever to undo. I feel like all of your exceptional players are found over there, and it's a great indicator of who's playing the game well. Like, for instance, here's Whoopsie once again. He's rocking it, guys. He is way above the norm. But you got some other guys down here that might be able to chase him because they are also well above the norm. But there's not many. You see, that's why I think he's got it. There's not very many people that can strike, and these dudes still have a lot of battles. I mean, even this guy right here has almost 900 battles. So to climb that many percent in such a short amount of time, it's going to be rough. And I don't think it's just going to be that easy to do. So, congratulations, Whoopsie. I think you won. As long as you don't mess up, as long as you don't fall down below Jamar, which, I mean, I know you know this. As long as you don't fall down below Jamar, you're good, sir. So, congratulations. And yeah, but let's get rid of all that junk and just take another quick look at it. So, it's really neat. So, like, what this tells us, guys, and again, for reasons like we talked about at the beginning of the season, just the rapid tech advancement and how obviously a lot of people that were able to, get right on top of the elevator right away had a huge advantage over the competition, which led to them having, in some cases, higher win percentages than the rest of us, just because, I mean, they were smart enough to make the right decisions and they were good enough to play to push them through and get all those rank chests. The point is, I didn't care so much about the win percentage, but I think I'm going to care a little bit more now going into Season 3, especially because I know every season gets better. They tweak things, they work on things. I'm hoping that it won't be that much of an unfair start again this year, or this season, but it might be. It might be. In terms of just, rapid progression through through tech levels by ranked chests and, using win streak stars to push your way through the ranks. It's probably going to happen again, but we'll see. The point here, though, guys, is what you really need to learn from this chart is every stinking match counts, okay? And if you're really trying to do well and push for the global leaderboard for next season, you need to be thinking about how many matches you're playing per day, which it's kind of unfortunate because it's counterintuitive. I think they want people to play Warships all the time, but this chart clearly shows us that if you play Warships too much, your percentage basically trends out to 50. I mean, give or take a percent or two, but basically this thing runs out to 50%. So if you're playing too many matches, just forget about having any type of competitive win percentage. It's just not going to happen. So I think this might change the way we approach Season 3 a little bit, and I think I'll do just a lot more battles with the, just when I have chests active, so I'm just farming for chests, and I'm not going to spend so much time grinding. Hopefully I can reduce the total number of matches I play, and at the same time increase my win percentage. There's also a thing to mention about smaller amounts of matches that's probably a good idea too, is, what's the best way to illustrate it? I guess, yeah, right here is good. Actually, well, no, we'll stick with this one. Okay, so the idea is this, okay, let's say I'm in the queue, and let's say we're right here, and, well, it doesn't really matter, but let's say the queue range on this just goes, I don't know, what is that, 12 and a half above and 12 and a half below, something like that. Okay, that means it extends all the way to these players, and then it extends all the way to these players. Now this would be the hypothetical queue that we're in, okay? It actually extends further than that. I just don't want to draw too many lines on the screen. The point is this. When you first jump into the queue, let's say, let me change colors real quick. This is actually a pretty important concept, so listen to me. I haven't shared it directly. I've told some of you guys in comments, but I haven't really mentioned it on a video till now, but I'll be nice and I'll mention it. Well, I think it's a thing, right? Okay, let's say this person's online, and this person's online, and this person. So in my hypothetical, guys, here we go. When you first queue up, and let's say, again, those 4 red dots, they're online for all your queues. When you first queue up, in theory, okay, there's other things that can affect the outcome here, but in theory, your first match should be on this guy right here. He's the closest to you in rank. He's online. That's your first match. Then your second match would actually be this guy over here. He's a little bit progressed on the rank, but he's still not too far away from where you're at. Third match would be this guy over here, and fourth match over here. Like, in a hypothetical. I know there's different things that can affect which dots come first, because it also matters who's eligible in their queues when they're in the queue. But let's not worry about all that. The point is this. If you keep trying to queue up more, you've taken all your good matches. So the more you queue up, the further out the matchmaking algorithm has to search to find a match for you. Now, maybe you get lucky, and maybe, matchmaking is pulling people from below you. Or maybe you don't get lucky and matchmaking is pulling people from above you. It really just depends who's online. And that's kind of the tricky part about it. I can't see that with my charts. Obviously, there's more players behind you than in front of you, but you probably have more active players in front of you than you have behind you. So how do those measure out? How do those balance out? I don't know. What I do know is limiting the amount of matches you do per day, especially during one play session, will greatly help your performance. It'll help to ensure that matchmaking stays near where you are and it doesn't have to extend too far out. I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule, but I think that's a smart way to approach it for Season 3, and I'm going to try to do that more often. And the same thing goes about time of day influences. You might notice different times of the day you have more success than others. This is just a matter of the different players that are available. It's a matter of which one of these dots are lit up, and you need to be aware of these trends. These trends aren't the same for everybody. They depend a lot, really just a lot on your rank, I guess, because I think it's depending on the day and who's logged in and who's not. Like the whole tech versus stars chart, it probably shifts around a bit in terms of who's online. So you might find preferable times where within your current spectrum of stars that you'll have an advantage at a certain time of day, and at other times of day that won't be there. Just pay attention to that and try to capitalize on that. Try to do everything you can to focus on improving your win percentage for Season 3. At least that's my plan. So we're going to see if we can do a little bit higher in the global ranking. Wow. Did I beat this one to death yet, guys? I'm not sure. Whoops. Where'd we go? Over here. I think that was the last chart I had for you, though. Win percent versus battles. There it is. Take another look at it, and it's telling us a lot, guys. It's telling us keep our battles low. Yeah, that's it. So, on to the second part. Now we'll feature some gameplay. Yeah, so it's really rough on the old SS Mini Pound Town. Like I said, guys, we do have the rockets. Let's do a quick fast forward through the tech tree. We got artillery level 4 very, very recently, or rank 4, I should say. We've also got barrage rank 4 recently. I'm just doing everything I can to max my offense. And you can see what else we got. Like I was saying earlier, we've got our rocket launchers maxed. And they're kind of nice, but they're definitely not worth it. But again, I had nothing else to spend it on. I'm looking at shock launchers too here pretty soon. But anyway, gameplay. There you go. There's my tech tree. So I've been having to basically hit a lot with warriors because the stats are just too high for me. What I'm going up against, it's too hard. So the only really effective attack I have is smoky attacks, whether it's smoky HZ or smoky warriors. I really prefer the warriors, and I'm running with brick. I will show you a couple of replays first, and we'll jump into maybe 2 quick attacks. But just check this out. I'm doing full clears with some of these hits, guys. So here we go. We got breakout. We can do the warriors with a vertical stagger drop. We wait till we get close before we throw the flare. We start doing our smoking, gapping them quite nicely or spacing them nicely. Double smoke over here. This time we have a critter distraction with a shock, I believe. Yeah, critter distraction to catch the doom cannons. And we just start taking stuff to Pound Town, guys. It's just a matter of keeping stuff shocked and rotating battle orders, and I think we even flare. Yeah, there's a last minute flare over this engine room, and boom, just like that, that dude went down to Pound Town. Pretty cool stuff. I hope I can do one of these live for you, but I'm not sure. Do I have another one? Yeah, here's another one. Okay. But, you know, some of these guys, I mean, let's be honest, they don't have the best base setup for anti-rush. Honestly, I don't even care about anti-rush because at the level I'm at, people aren't really rushing. There's still a lot of instant draining and stuff like that. Okay, here you can go. You can see the shocks. Shocking the shock, shocking the hot pot, all that good junk. Of course, battle orders is up. And we're getting a bunch of GBE with each engine room that pops. Probably going to cycle that shock on the hot pot. Yeah, if you let a hot pot go, you're just dead. And, oh yeah, this was a good one. Yeah, oh no, sorry, I was thinking another one. Doesn't matter. Boom, just like that, he goes down to Pound Town. Okay, guys. Let's just jump into an attack. I guess we can take the drawing bar off. I don't really need that. Yep, we'll load it up. Here we go. I just find brick to be effective. I mean, I just need to get all the damage I can. Oh, this guy has no stats. They normally aren't this easy. Now, he's going to steamroll me, though, guys. That's the problem. When he's at 100%, he is going to steamroll my base. And he'll do it faster than I can do it to him. Man. You know what? Well, we're not going to do warriors in this hit because I know I need to go for a full clear. So I will run my 251 TGM with, come on, and second wind. We'll do that, because at 2020, this guy, he's not seeing straight, let me tell you that. Yeah, okay, well, we got a nice value shock over here. I could BART stuff if I wanted to. At 24,000, that Doom Cannon doesn't take too much for me to BART. My barrage does about 10k, and my artillery does about 4. So 2 barrage and 1 artillery should get it. I think we will open with that. All right. Drop our tanks, get our medics out. Let's see if that's the right number. 1, 2 barrage, and oh gosh, that's the rocket launcher. Okay, need some more caffeine. Oh, there goes 2 barrage. I think I should get the Grens out too, huh? Let's get second wind going. Yeah, that's awkward. Man, 1, 2. How's everybody doing over here? Doing okay? Doing okay. I think we'll just wait on it a bit. Don't want to blow all my GBE. Drop a med kit. I think we're going down. I'm just hoping that the guy fails his hit, and then I can still somehow, you know, get all 7. No, not going to happen. Not going to waste your time. Not going to waste my time or his time. And why isn't that going up there? There we go. Yeah, so obviously I really messed up with that opening bad Bart job. Yeah, I failed a Bart job, guys. And you got it live. But really, come on. There's really no point in sitting around. Of course, when you're shock locked, you can't really retreat. Anyway, that's a loss. Alrighty. I knew we were screwed. I mean, the guy was obviously focusing on offense, and my base will just not hold up to that. Come on, dude. Get to the boat. There we go. Okay, well that was fantastically awesome. Let's jump into another one. But yeah, my goal of mini bobber, guys, I want to get to legendary. I don't know if it's possible though, because I got all these over engine room guys above me, and it's pretty much all 7ERs now that I'm up against. Okay, but now we'll do a warrior hit, huh? Let's go all warriors. Brick, battle orders, select, boom, locked and loaded. That's right. Now the question is, do I want to come from the right or do I want to come from the left? The right's looking pretty good. Just a couple of shock mines. We don't really care. We got rank 3 smokes. We can usually just wait it out. Now I'm really looking for is shock targets. We do notice shock launcher range. Kind of all three are kind of covering stuff. Well, one nice shock will get it all. What's the range on the Flotty? Yeah, it does touch some stuff, which kind of sucks. Basically, I need one shock. I need 2 shocks if I can afford it. But if I can just get one, I need to make sure I'm covering that Flotty. Alright, a couple shock mines. Like I said, don't really care. I will get this one on the side, because if it kind of flanks one of the last troops to come in, that can be bad. Alright, let's go. Warriors, brick, everybody else. Flare them up. Smoke, smoke, smoke. And let's go all the way over here. Smoke, smoke, smoke. Okay. Battle orders up. Shock in hand. With 37 GBE, we can shock the heck out of stuff. Let's throw some early critters out. Let's go shock and shock. Might need to flare, I'm not sure. Let's get rid of the cycle shocks. Can at least cycle one. I think I just want to keep moving up. Battle orders. Can we get one more? I doubt it, but let's go for it. Ooh, Brick just ate it. Nah, we're not going to get that. And he's going to get us. Let's drop a barrage. I don't know. Whatever. I know we're not going to win, so it doesn't matter. He's already got us down to 2. We'll jump into one more attack as soon as this guy finishes up. We'll go ahead and take a look at him. Grens, is it Grens, bro? Ooh, running out of juice. Yeah, they're not out healing the rocket, I don't think. Oh, maybe they are. There you go. You're not out healing that machine gun. Straight to Pound Town. Not really. We lost. Like I said, guys, it's rough up here. I mean, you know, you do your best, and it's just not good enough sometimes. But yeah, I would hope that they would change it to the number of engine rooms destroyed, not engine rooms remaining. That would help for people like me, and maybe you. I don't know. Alright, last attack. Let's make it a good one against Launcher 69. We see he's got 70% on the building health and 50% on the defensive building damage. Been getting low opponents tonight. Well, they're usually all around 100, maybe 80 to 100. 70, it's a bit low. Again, he's not very well protected from the rush. So, obviously, I just want to kind of tuck my troops in to the back. And that keeps Brick out of harm's way. Shock range, don't really have to worry about it too much, at least not till the end. So we just need to shock junk that's hurting our troops. Range on the Flotty. It does have some pretty good range. So we'll want to keep that shocked up. Or, yeah. I think that's about it. Let's just look for shock mines. There's one there. One there. I think that's it, guys. No, doesn't look like he's hiding any other ones, or else I just missed some. No, I think we're good. Okay, one on the front, don't care about. One over here, we can just art out. And let's go. I will drop one boat of warriors kind of ahead of the other ones, because I want it to hit that shock mine and not Brick. Okay, there goes the first boat, waiting like a second. Here come the other boats. We'll just go ahead and use 2 flares for this one. There's a flare. Stop hitting brick. Don't hit that. Oh my gosh. It's going to snipe brick. Yeah. See, I knew Simo was going to get her. Okay, we're going to do this without brick. That's okay. Old school. Might have been a little too heavy on the smoke, but 26 GBE. We have enough for 2 shocks. Shock in hand. Shocking. Cycling. Prepare to cycle. Uh-oh, a little late on the cycle. Trying to get all the warriors up top. Let's get one more down. Maybe we can flare this one down here. Critters. Uh-oh. Artillery. I think I just killed all the warriors with the artillery. Oh my gosh, guys. That was so bad. That was so bad. We could have had one more. But boom, just like that, we won. So I think we're going to wrap up the video right there. Please let me know in the comments below how you're doing on the season, what your plans are, what you're hoping for Season 3. And yeah, hopefully you found the video informative. So just let me know what you think in the comments below. If you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because you obviously like the content. And I guess we're going to wrap it up right there, like I said. So remember, guys, as always, be kind to others because if you're not, you're just being mean, and mean people suck. Have a great day.